Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Hardcore. My name is Fungusaurus Rex, and in the previous episode we built a beautiful shopping emporium. However, we still need a few blocks to complete it, and one of those blocks is honey blocks. Which means the first thing we're going to do today is build ourselves a bee farm. In fact, we're going to be building quite a few farms today. But we're going to start off by leveling this piece of ground and putting our upgraded bee farm right here. And with the ground leveled out, I've raised this up one block so we have a little bit of a pedestal for the bee farm to stand on. So we're just going to start off by measuring out the distance we need. And I'm just going to place a block every 2 blocks, and that should do it. And with that done, we can start by putting down the chests. Now, of course, this is where all the honey and the honeycomb is going to end up. And I think I'll probably do both sides, but that, of course, is subject to change. And with the chests in place, we can now put some flowering azalea leaves over here where the bees can come and collect their pollen to make that sweet, sweet honey. And next up, we need to place some glass to keep the bees from escaping, because that would just be absolute chaos. So we're just going to put down a row of glass here, and I see that I have placed my chests one block too far back, so we need to break all of these and move them into the correct spot. So let's get that done. All the chests have been broken and are now being relocated to the right spot. There we go. Then next up, I think we're going to put down some spruce blocks right here just to close everything up nicely. And that is most of the front of the farm done, and it's looking rather splendid. Next up, we're going to work on the collection system. So we're going to put down some hoppers at the back. Then we're just filling in here with some more spruce blocks. And of course, on top of those hoppers, we're going to have our beehives. We need to install the dispensers, which are instrumental in extracting the honey and the honeycomb from the beehives. And with that done, it's time to actually install the beehives. Now I have one spare beehive here. There's no bees in it at the moment. This one I made myself, so let's just pop that in there. And then I have the original beehive that we collected from the wild. So I need to be careful with this one because this one actually contains some bees. So we're gonna put this in there and then quickly close it up to keep the bees from escaping. And there we go. Now it's time to do the actual redstone, and that's going to require a few blocks right at the back here. Let's just put some more down here. And a few comparators, which will take the redstone signal from the hive. A few stone slabs back here. And then, of course, finally, the actual redstone connecting the signal to the dispenser. And then just some redstone lights up here. And I think our bee farm is complete for now. And now we can get building the actual structure. So we're just going to put some concrete blocks on either side here just to make sure that the bees can't escape, because this is the only place they'll be able to escape from. And then we are free to remove all this dirt and start actually building the walls. And we're going to be using some white concrete as well as some red terracotta accents. And then I'm going to add a little water stream up front here, and this is purely aesthetic. So let's just grab all of these and just fill in all the water. And of course, we're going to need a bit of a road going past the front just to round out the build. And the bees have escaped. I did a really dumb thing. I removed the half slab that I had in there, and the bees are out. So I need to gather up all of these guys, and it looks like they want to get back in, so I might have to break that glass. So I've broken the glass up front here, and that should allow the bees to get back to their hives. But first I need to wrangle them with this flour I've got here, so let's just get all of these guys together, gather the swarm, and bring them over here. And hopefully, once I get rid of the flour in my hand, they'll be more interested in the azalea leaves, and when they've collected their pollen, go back into their hives. So let's just wait and then replace the glass once they're all in. This might take a while. And finally, the bees are back in the glass. So that worked out alright. Let's carry on. And next on our list is, of course, getting our cows out from under the overhang here. We just left them here when we built the emporium, but now it's time to relocate them. And I've constructed a pen for them over at the industrial area, which is going to be the start of the farming district. So let's just grab all of our cows. Come on, bossy. And here we go. All of the cows are almost in. Let's just jump over this block. They should follow me in. And with all the cows in place, we can remove this block, and then we can build these guys a cow house, or as it is better known, a barn. You'll see I've leveled out some ground there, I've fenced off the area, so let's get building a cow barn. And our barn is complete, and I really do love this design. We've got lots of details in the ground at the front here. You can see where the ground has been trampled where they're clamoring for the water. We've got some feed out for them, and we've got some wild bushes growing. And inside, the barn is completely detailed as well. Up here we have the hay loft with all the hay that the cows could possibly want to eat. Then moving down, you can see there's one cow trying to get up there, but good luck to him. We've got some storage space, we've got some tools, and we've got some space for the cows to sleep. And with that done, it's time to make some crop farms. Now I'm going to make a wheat farm, I'm going to make a potato farm, and I'm going to make a carrot farm. But first, I need a lot of spruce, so I've been doing some chopping over here. And now with my spruce blocks in hand, we can start building the farm area. And I'm going to start right here. What I want to do is build a tiered farm with an automatic water harvesting system. So I'm just going to measure this out first, and then we'll grab a bucket of water and see if it flows right to the end, because this is where I'm going to put down some hoppers, and that is perfect. And the first tier is almost complete. We just need to do some hoeing over here, but we can get started on the second tier, and I'm going to be doing 3 tiers. So this will be the second tier of the farm, and this is going to be my wheat farm. So let's just get some blocks in here. And with our second tier completed, we are now on the third tier, which will of course have the dispensers that will release the water and harvest the crops. And finally, we're putting down our dispensers, but not here, right at the back, which will of course have buckets of water in them, and we'll rig up a trigger system so we can release the water, and of course we'll need to stop the water as well. So we'll need 2 triggers on that. But first, let's get some water and see if it flows all the way to the bottom. And here we go. First test is very unsuccessful because it is stopping at that hole. Now, I'm not sure why it's doing that. I have to trigger it twice to stop the water, of course. But I think let's fill up those holes and see if that fixes the problem. So let's just grab this bucket of water. And then I'll fill up this one as well. And let's see if that's fixed the problem. And it has not. So I think what I might need to do is put some top slabs over this water. And here we go. The top slabs are in place. So let's put that water bucket back and trigger this thing to see if it works. And yes, we have success. And it's flowing all the way down to where the hoppers are going to be. Beautiful. So the other 2 farms have been constructed, and now I want to rig up the trigger system. Now the tricky part is that it needs 2 pulses, one to start it and one to stop it. So I want to have a button over here which I'm going to press, and then of course it's going to carry the signal all the way to the back and trigger the dispensers. Oh goodness, okay, now I've dug into the farmland water there, so I'm going to have to go down 1 more level. So let's get our pickaxe and take out some of this stone. And that should be low enough to avoid the water. So let's get this redstone laid down. And finally, we have our hole dug all the way to the back so we can put down the actual redstone. So I'm just going to run as far as it will go. And then when the signal runs out, we'll just pop in a repeater. So that's 1 repeater, and here we go with some more redstone. And this should actually work out quite nicely. Last repeater goes in here. And that's all active. And then we can set up the trigger mechanism back here. And with our trigger mechanism set up, let's pop down a button and give it a test. And it starts, it stops, it works. Now I'm going to build a little pedestal in the middle here. Let's see, that should work. Yes, it gives the pulse, it turns it off, the water is released, and the water is stopped. So we can put this dirt back in here and just close up this massive hole. Just going to jump down here and replace it over there as well. And that should be it for our farm. But now we need to do a little bit of groundkeeping. So let's build some roads. And we've built some roads, we've upgraded the farms themselves with some automatic lighting, and I've added a 4th beetroot farm. So I'm just bone mealing these to get some seeds so I can plant all of these crops and allow them to grow while I get started on the other farms. Because we are building 3 more farms today. But first, we need to level some terrain. Let's get bulldozing. And leveling out that terrain has given our crops some time to grow. So as you can see, we've got fields of beetroot, carrots, potatoes, and wheat. And of course, it is time to finally press the button and watch the vegetables cascade down into the hoppers. So the fields are ready. Here we go. Let's hit that button. And here come the vegetables, all rolling down the hill into the hoppers. And that was beautiful. Now I can see that some of the vegetables got caught on the ledges over here, so that means I will probably have to replace these glass panes with glass blocks. But that will have to wait a bit, as we have some other things we need to do. Firstly, I'm going to build an automated sugarcane farm, as well as an automated bamboo farm. So let's get building. Here we go. And our farming area is nearing completion. We have a beautiful barn, we have 4 fields chock full of crops, we have an automatic sugarcane and bamboo farm, and we have a pig farm as well, which serves no purpose but looks pretty good. And with that, it is day 626, and we have a viable farming district. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is unfortunately all we have time for today. I do hope you enjoyed this episode. Leave a like if you did, and if you want to see some more, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. But this is Fungusaurus Rex saying, until next time, beautiful people, stay awesome. Bye bye.